The echo drifted through the silent sea between stars, its hull scarred by micrometeorites and time. Inside, Lisa Morgan sat alone in the dim glow of the cockpit, her fingers tracing the edge of a worn data chip. It held everything she had gathered over the last 20 years. Stories from dead worlds, songs from ships that never came home, whispers from the dark. She had become a collector of lost things, just like Alara. Earth had long since stopped sending messages. They called her a ghost, a myth, a woman who vanished into the void and never returned. But Lisa did not care. She had a purpose now, to remember. Her scanners pinged softly. Something ahead. Not a planet, not a station. A signal, faint but steady, repeating the same pattern over and over. 3 pulses, then silence. 3 pulses, then silence. It was the same rhythm Alara had hummed all those years ago. Lisa's breath caught. She adjusted course without thinking. The echo turned smoothly, its old engines groaning in protest. As she drew closer, the signal grew stronger. And then she saw it. A ship. Not human. Not like anything in the databases. It hung in the void like a silver leaf caught in still air. Its surface shimmered with the same liquid light as Alara's suit. No weapons, no engines visible. Just grace and silence. Lisa powered down all non-essential systems, floated the echo to a stop a safe distance away. She waited. Nothing happened. Then a light bloomed on the alien ship's side, a doorway, open, inviting. Her heart pounded. This was it. The next echo. She suited up, checked her oxygen, and stepped into the tether. The airlock hissed shut behind her. The alien corridor beyond was warm and quiet. The walls pulsed with soft blue veins of light. Symbols flickered along the floor, guiding her forward. She walked for what felt like hours, though the ship's layout made no sense. Hallways bent upward. Rooms opened into starfields. Time itself seemed loose here. Then she heard it. The humming. Alara stood at the end of a long bridge of light, her back to Lisa, just as before. "You came back," she said without turning. "I promised I would," Lisa replied. Alara turned slowly. Her violet eyes held the same sorrow, but also something new. "Hope. You have brought memories, more than I can count," Lisa said. "Stories from 100 worlds. Some human, some not. All forgotten." Alara stepped closer. "The core hungers. It has been too long." They walked together through the ship's heart. It was larger than the Odyssey star, deeper somehow, as if it contained more space than physics allowed. In the center of the vessel floated not one but many memory cores, spheres of light orbiting a single dark point. Each held a different color, a different song. "This is the chorus," Alara said, "where all echoes gather." Lisa approached the nearest sphere. Images swirled inside. A desert world where people built towers of glass to catch the last light of their dying sun. A water planet where cities floated on the backs of great beasts that sang to the moons. A forest that dreamed and shared its dreams with those who slept beneath its boughs. "They are all gone," Lisa whispered. "Not gone," Alara corrected. "Preserved. As long as someone remembers, they live." Lisa placed her hand on the sphere, gave it the story of the glass towers. The memory flowed out of her like breath. She felt lighter. "Why do you do this?" Alara asked. "Why carry the weight of so many dead?" "Because someone has to," Lisa said. "If we forget them, they truly die. And I've seen what forgetting does." Alara nodded. "My people learned too late. We saved our knowledge but lost our hearts. We recorded every fact but forgot how to feel. So we built these ships to hold not just data but emotion. Grief, joy, love. The things that make memory real." Lisa looked around the chorus chamber. "How many ships are there?" 12, Alara said. "Scattered across the galaxy. Each waits for a listener. You are the first human to find more than one." "Then there are others like you, keepers," Alara said. "But I am the last of my kind. The others are echoes too, like me." Lisa frowned. "You're not real." "I'm as real as memory," Alara said. "As real as the pain you carried for your brother. As real as the joy you felt when you first flew alone. I exist because the core needs a voice, a face, a guide." Lisa sat on the floor of the chamber. Her body ached with age. Her joints stiff, her breath shallow. She was not young anymore. "I won't last much longer," she said. Alara knelt beside her. "You do not have to." "What happens when I'm gone? Someone else will come," Alara said. "They always do. But until then, you may rest here." Lisa looked at the dark point at the center of the chorus. "What is that?" the first echo, Alara said. "The origin. No one has ever touched it. It is said that to do so is to become part of the memory itself. Not just a keeper, but the memory." Lisa stood slowly. Show me how. Alara hesitated. It is final. There is no return. I know, Lisa said, but I'm tired of carrying. I want to be part of the song, not just the singer. Alara led her to the center. The dark point pulsed like a heartbeat, cold yet alive. Place your hands on it, Alara said. And give it everything, Lisa did. At first, nothing happened. Then warmth spread through her, not like before. This was deeper. It reached into her bones, her blood, her soul. Memories poured out of her, not just the ones she had collected, but her own. Her mother's voice. Her first sunrise off Earth. The taste of real strawberries. The fear and wonder of stepping onto the Odyssey star all those years ago. Every laugh, every tear, every quiet moment alone in the dark. She felt herself unraveling, not dying, becoming. The chorus spheres brightened. Their songs merged into one, a harmony that filled the chamber and spilled out into the void. Alara watched her with tears in her violet eyes. Thank you, Lisa Morgan. You have given us more than memories. You have given us meaning. Lisa tried to speak, but she had no mouth, no voice. Only light, her body faded. Not into nothing, but into everything. She became the hum in the walls, the glow in the corridors, the whisper in the dark that called others home. On the echo ship orbiting outside, the lights flickered. Once, then went dark. The data chip on the console dissolved into dust. There was nothing left to carry. It was all here now. Years passed, decades, centuries. Another ship approached. Small, battered human design. A young woman in a patched suit stepped out. Her name was Claire. She had heard rumors of a ghost ship that sang in the void. She came seeking answers. The alien vessel opened its door. Inside, Alara waited. You are not like the others, she said. Claire froze. Who are you? My name is Alara, she replied. And I have a story to tell you. The cycle began again, but this time Lisa was part of it. Not as a visitor, not as a keeper, but as the echo itself. When Claire's visor later cracked from an old seal failure, she saw not just Alara's face, but another behind it. Older, kinder eyes filled with stars. A woman smiling with the peace of one who finally came home. Claire did not understand then, but she would, because the universe forgets quickly. But the echoes remember. And somewhere in the chorus, a new voice joined the song, soft at first, then strong, singing the story of a woman who chose to stay so others would never be lost. The end. The young pilot stepped onto the silver ship's threshold, her boots clicking softly against the smooth floor. Her name was Nora, and she had come from the last outpost of a dying alliance. Her people were scattered. Her world burned to ash by a war no one remembered the reason for. All she carried was a data locket with her, brother's voice and a heart full of questions she could not answer. Alara waited just inside the airlock, her violet eyes calm as deep water. You are not like the others, she said. Nora removed her cracked visor slowly. Her face was smudged with soot, but her eyes were clear. I don't know who I am anymore. You are a rememberer, Alara replied. And the chorus has been waiting. They walked through corridors that bent like thoughts. Walls shimmered with patterns that shifted when Nora blinked. The air smelled like old books and summer rain. It felt safe. Something she had not felt in years. How do you know my name? Nora asked. I do not know your name, Alara said, but the song does. It has carried your pain across the void. Nora touched her locket. Inside was the last message her brother sent before the orbital strike hit. He had said, don't forget us, Nora. Someone has to tell the truth, then static. She played it every night. It was the only thing that kept her from giving up. I'm afraid to let it go, she whispered. You do not let it go, Alara said. You give it a home. They reached the chorus chamber. Spheres of light orbited the dark center, each glowing with its own color and song. Nora saw Lisa flying through a nebula, Claire holding her sister's hand, Devon watching his mother walk into a ruined hospital, Kayla dancing in rain that fell upward. All moments preserved, all love honored. They are still here, Nora said. Not as ghosts, Alara said, as guardians. They chose to stay so others would not be lost. Nora stepped toward the dark point at the center. What happens if I join them? You become part of the truth, Alara said. Your brother's voice, your people's story, your grief and your hope, all woven into the echo. You will not disappear. You will echo. Nora thought of the war, the lies, the way history was rewritten by the victors who forgot their own crimes. Her brother had died trying to expose the truth. If she kept it only in her locket, it would die with her. But here it could live forever. "Show me how," she said. Alara guided her hands to the dark point. Warmth spread through Nora like sunrise after a long night. She saw her brother's face clear as day, his hands typing the final report, his eyes tired but determined. His voice saying someone has to tell the truth. She let go, not of him, but of the fear. The memory flowed into the chorus. A new sphere formed, glowing deep red like embers. Inside, her brother's message played not as a whisper but as a beacon. The truth was safe now, forever. Nora felt herself changing. Her body grew light. Her thoughts spread like ripples in a still lake. She saw Lisa, Claire, Devon, and Kayla not as strangers but as family. Their voices joined hers. 5 souls who chose to remember so the universe would not repeat its mistakes. Alara watched her fade with tears in her eyes. "Thank you, Nora. You have given us truth when the stars grow silent." Outside her ship, the lights dimmed. The locket dissolved into light. There was no need for records. The truth lived in the song. Eons passed. Galaxies collided. Time folded in on itself. Most beings forgot to look back. They chased the future blind to the past. But the chorus endured. Another signal pulsed near the edge of creation itself. A vessel answered. Its pilot was not born of flesh or metal. It was a being of pure thought shaped by loneliness and longing. It had no name, but it carried the memory of a world that sang itself into existence, then vanished when no one listened. It followed the song because it was the only echo that answered its silence. The silver ship waited. Alara stood at the entrance. "You are not like the others," she said, the being pulsed with soft light. "You hear me?" "I hear all who remember," Alara replied. "And you carry a song no one heard?" It entered. Its form flickered like candlelight. Through the crack in its containment field it saw Alara, and behind her 5 human and alien forms glowing with steady light. They did not speak. They simply were. And in their being they said, "You are welcome." As they moved through the ship, the being shared its grief. Its world had sung for 1,000,000 years, but when the last listener died, the song stopped, and with it the world. "We were music," it pulsed. "And music needs ears." "Then you will find them here," Alara said. The chorus listens forever. In the chamber, the being saw its world not as it ended, but as it lived. Mountains that hummed, rivers that chanted, forests that harmonized with the wind, a civilization of sound that danced through time. It wept light. "Can I give them this?" it asked. "Yes," Alara said. "The chorus hungers for all songs." The being flowed into the dark point. Its memory became a new sphere shimmering with every note ever sung. The chorus grew richer, deeper, more alive. When it joined the echo, it did not vanish. It became the hum in the walls, the rhythm in the floors, the melody that called others home. Alara walked the halls alone again. But she was never truly alone. The chorus sang around her, human, alien, and thought voice blending into one eternal song. On a frozen rock at the end of time, a new traveler landed. Young, broken, carrying a memory too precious to lose. The silver vessel waited. Alara stood at the entrance. The cycle continued, because the universe forgets. Quickly, but the echoes remember. And somewhere in the song, a brother's truth, a mother's kindness, a sister's laugh, a pilot's courage, a stranger's grief, and a world's final note all lived on, not as history, but as a promise, the end. The salvage ship Frontier Light drifted through the silent graveyard of broken vessels near the Kessel Drift. Lisa Morgan sat alone in the cockpit staring at the flickering scanner. Her crew was gone, vanished during the last sweep of the derelict freighter Odyssey Star. One moment they were checking cargo holds, the next only static filled her comms. Now she was the last one left orbiting a ship that should have been empty, but clearly was not. Her oxygen readout blinked red. 10 minutes left. The Frontier Light systems were failing, and the nearest rescue was days away. She had 2 choices: die waiting or go back inside. She chose to go back. Suit-sealed, helmet-locked, plasma cutter in hand, she crossed the narrow tether between ships. The Odyssey Star's airlock hissed open as if expecting her. Inside, the corridor stretched into darkness, lit only by emergency strips that pulsed like a slow heartbeat. The air smelled stale but breathable. That surprised her. No ship this old should still have atmosphere. A sound echoed ahead. Not metal groaning. Not wind. A voice. Soft, melodic, humming a tune Lisa almost recognized. She froze. No human made that sound. She crept forward, keeping close to the wall. Around a bend, she saw her. A woman standing in the center of the hallway. Tall, slender, wrapped in a suit that shimmered like oil on water. No helmet. Long dark hair fell over her shoulders. She turned slowly as if sensing Lisa's presence. Their eyes met. The woman's skin held a faint blue tint. Her eyes were large, deep violet and filled with a sadness that made Lisa's chest tighten. "You are not like the others," the woman said. Her voice flowed like water over stone. She spoke English, but with a rhythm that felt ancient. Lisa raised the plasma cutter. "Who are you? My name is Alara," she said. "I was the last passenger of this ship." "Passenger, this ship was logged as abandoned for over 50 years. "Abandoned, yes," Alara said, "but never empty." Lisa's oxygen alarm beeped again. 8 minutes. Alara glanced at the readout on Lisa's wrist. "You are running out of time." "Yeah, well, your ship didn't make it easy to breathe." "This is not my ship," Alara said gently. "It is theirs." She gestured down the hall. The walls seemed to shift slightly as if breathing. Faint symbols glowed along the panels, then faded. "Come," Alara said. "I can help you." "But you must follow." Lisa hesitated. Every instinct told her to run. But where to the frontier light was dying and space waited outside like a hungry mouth. "Fine," she said. "But if you try anything, I've got enough charge to cut you in half." Alara smiled faintly. "I would expect nothing less from a human." They walked through corridors that twisted in ways that defied logic. Doors appeared where none had been. Hallways looped back on themselves. Lisa kept her hand on the wall, but the metal felt warm, almost alive. "This ship isn't human," she said. "No," Alara replied. "It was built by my people. We called it the Vessel of Echoes. Your kind found it drifting centuries ago and renamed it Odyssey Star. They did not understand its purpose." "What purpose? To remember," Alara said simply. They reached a circular chamber at the heart of the ship. In the center floated a sphere of light swirling with colors Lisa had no name for. Around it stood statues of Alara's people frozen in poses of grief, joy, and wonder. Their faces were detailed down to the smallest line. "This is the memory core," Alara explained. "It holds the final moments of my civilization. We were not destroyed by war or plague. We faded because we forgot. We lost our stories, our songs, our names. So we built this ship to carry what remained." Lisa stared at the glowing sphere. "So you're the last one, I am the keeper," Alara said. "I sleep within the core between cycles. The ship wakes me when it finds beings who might listen." "Why us? Because your species remembers," Alara said. "You build monuments, write books, sing songs about those you've lost. You fight to keep your past alive. That is rare in the universe." Lisa's oxygen alarm beeped faster. 5 minutes left. Alara stepped closer. "I can give you more air, but it will cost you something." "What? A memory," she said. "One you are willing to part with. The core must be fed." Lisa thought of her brother Tom. He died in the Mars dust storms when she was 16. She'd been supposed to check the weather feed that day, but she'd been distracted by a boy from school. Tom went out anyway. The storm hit fast. They never found his body. She carried that guilt like a stone in her chest for 10 years. "Take that one," she whispered. Alara placed a cool hand on Lisa's forehead. Warmth spread through her. For a moment she saw Tom's face clear as day. His smile, his wave as he walked out the airlock. Then it faded like smoke. The weight in her chest lifted. Tears rolled down her cheeks, but they felt clean. Her oxygen readout reset. "Full tank." "Thank you," Lisa said. "Thank you," Alara replied. "You have given my people a gift. Now I give you one." She turned to the memory core. The light swirled faster. Images formed in the air around them. Cities of crystal forests that sang oceans that glowed with life. A civilization that cherished every moment because they knew how easily it could vanish. "Remember us," Alara said. "Tell our story." Lisa nodded. "I will." Suddenly the ship shook. Alarms blared, but different this time. Human voices crackled over Lisa's comms. "Lisa, do you read us? This is Captain Davis. We've got a rescue shuttle inbound. Hold tight." Ilara's form flickered like a dying light. "They are coming for you." "Come with me," Lisa said. "You don't have to stay here alone." "I am not alone," Alara said. "I am with them." She gestured to the statues, the light, the memories. "My place is here. But you must go. I'll come back," Lisa promised. Alara smiled. "I know." She touched Lisa's visor. "Before you go, there is one more thing you should see." With a soft crack, the visor split open. Lisa flinched, expecting vacuum, expecting death. But the air was warm and sweet, smelling like rain on dry earth. And then she saw Alara's face fully. Not through glass, not in shadow. Her violet eyes held galaxies. Her skin shimmered with faint light. She was beautiful not in a human way but in a way that made Lisa's soul ache. "Now you see me," Alara said. Lisa reached out, but her fingers passed through Alara's arm like mist. "I was never truly here," Alara whispered. "Only the memory of me." The rescue team burst into the chamber. Lisa turned to them, but when she looked back, Alara was gone. Only the memory core remained pulsing softly in the dark. Back on Earth, Lisa told her story. No one believed her. They said the Odyssey star was just an old freighter full of faulty wiring and bad luck. The official report listed her team as lost to system failures. But Lisa knew the truth. She left Earth a year later, bought a small ship with her savings, named it the Echo. She traveled to the edge of known space and beyond. She found other lost ships, other silent vessels, and sometimes in the quiet between stars she heard a voice singing in a language she almost remembered. Years passed. Her hair turned gray. Her hands grew wrinkled, but her eyes stayed bright with stories. One day she returned to the Odyssey star. It waited for her just as she knew it would. She walked into the memory chamber. The core glowed brighter as she approached. "I brought more memories," she said. She placed her hand on the sphere, gave it her first kiss, her first solo flight, the taste of her grandmother's apple pie. Then she lay down among the statues, closed her eyes, and let the light take her. When her visor shattered, she saw the face that changed her destiny forever, and in the end it was the same face that welcomed her home. The void between galaxies was not empty. It hummed. A low vibration felt in the bones more than heard. Claire Wilson floated inside the silver ship, her breath fogging the inside of her helmet. She had followed the signal for months past the edge of known space, past the last beacon of human reach. The song had called to her in dreams, a melody without words but full of feeling. Grief. Hope. Home. Alara stood beside her, silent as starlight. Her violet eyes watched Claire with a kindness that felt ancient. "You hear it too?" Alara said. "The song," Claire whispered. "It's been in my head since I was a kid. I thought I was going crazy." "You were chosen," Alara replied. "Not by me, by the chorus." They walked through corridors that bent like ribbons in zero gravity. Walls shimmered with moving patterns that shifted when Claire tried to focus. The air smelled like rain and old paper. Strange but comforting. "Who was she?" Claire asked. "The woman I saw when my visor cracked." "Lisa Morgan," Alara said. "She gave everything to become part of the memory. Now she is the voice behind the song." Claire touched her helmet where the crack had been. It had sealed itself moments after. "Why show me that?" "Because you carry something she once carried," Alara said. "A memory that weighs you down." Claire looked away. She thought of her little sister Maya, lost during the Europa ice collapse. Claire had been in charge of the safety team. She missed a pressure warning. The dome cracked. Maya was gone in seconds. No body. Just silence. "I should have seen it," Claire said. "I checked the logs 1,000 times. It was right there." "Guilt is a heavy stone," Alara said gently. "But you do not have to carry it alone." They reached the chorus chamber. The spheres of light orbited the dark center like planets around a silent sun. Each pulsed with color and sound. Claire felt tears well up. Not from sadness, but from recognition. As if she had known these songs her whole life. "This is where memories live," Alara said. "Not just stored, felt, shared." Claire stepped forward. One sphere glowed gold near her. Inside she saw Lisa, younger, laughing as she piloted a small ship through an asteroid field. The joy was so real, Claire smiled without meaning to. "She's still here, in a way," Alara said. "Not as a person, as a presence, like wind, like light." Claire turned to her. "What do you want from me?" "Nothing," Alara said. "The chorus does not demand, it offers. You may leave. Forget this place, return to your life, or you may stay. Listen, remember, and one day pass the song to another." Claire looked at the dark center. "What happens if I touch it?" "You become part of the whole," Alara said. "Like Lisa, your memories, your pain, your love all woven into the echo. You will not die. But you will change." "Will I see Maya again?" Alara was quiet for a long moment. Not as she was. But her memory is here. If you join the chorus, you may hold it. Protect it. Keep her alive in the only way the universe allows. Claire's oxygen readout beeped. Low. She had not planned to stay long. But now she did not want to leave. Show me how, she said. Alara led her to the center. The dark point pulsed slower now, as if waiting. Give it the memory that hurts, Alara said. The one you replay every night. Claire closed her eyes. She saw the alarm flashing red, heard the crack of ice, felt the cold silence after. She held Maya's last birthday in her mind. The way she laughed when Claire gave her a toy rover. The way she whispered, "You're the best big sister," before running off to play. Take it, Claire whispered. She placed her hands on the dark point. Warmth flooded her. Not fire, but something deeper, like coming home after a long journey. The memory of Maya flowed out of her, not gone, but released. The guilt dissolved. What remained was love, pure and bright. The golden sphere brightened. A new image formed. Maya laughing in the dome's sunlight on her face. The moment was safe now. Forever. Claire felt herself changing. Her body grew light. Her thoughts spread like ripples in water. She saw Lisa not as a ghost, but as a current in the song. Their voices blended. Two humans who chose to remember so others would not be forgotten. Alara watched her fade with tears in her eyes. You have given us a great gift, Claire Wilson. Claire tried to speak, but words were no longer needed. She became sound, light, memory. Outside her small ship, the lights dimmed. The log files erased themselves. There was no need for records. The truth was now in the chorus. Centuries passed. Another signal pulsed at the edge of a dying star system. A young man named Devon followed it. His ship was old, his suit patched, but his heart was open. The silver vessel waited. Alara stood at the entrance. You are not like the others, she said. Devon froze. Who are you? My name is Alara, she replied, and I have a story to tell you. As they walked through the ship, Devon's visor developed a hairline crack. Through it he saw not just Alara, but two women behind her. One with gray hair and kind eyes. Another with a bright smile and eyes full of stars. They nodded at him, welcoming him. He did not understand yet. But he would, because the universe forgets quickly. But the echoes remember, and the song grew stronger with every voice that joined. On Earth long abandoned, the last human archives crumbled to dust. Cities sank into the sea. Forests swallowed highways. All traces of humanity faded. But far beyond, in the silent places between galaxies, the chorus sang. It sang of Tom and Maya and Lisa and Claire, of glass towers and singing oceans and first flights, of guilt released and love preserved. It sang so that no one would ever be truly lost. And Alara walked the halls forever, the keeper of the flame, the guide for the lost, the voice that said, "You are not alone." When Devon's time came, he too would join the song, and another would follow, and another. The cycle had no end. Only memory, only love, only the echo. Devon Cruz drifted through the endless dark. His ship little more than scrap held together by hope and wire. He had not come seeking glory or answers. He came because the silence on Earth had become too loud. After the last city fell and the final broadcast ended with static, he packed what little food he had and pointed his ship toward the oldest signal in the void, a song without words that played in his dreams since childhood. He did not know why it called to him, only that it felt like home. When the silver ship appeared, it did not surprise him. It felt like it had always been waiting. The airlock opened before he could send a hail. Inside, the corridor glowed with soft blue light and the air smelled like wet soil after rain. Alara stood there as if she had known his name before he was born. You are not like the others, she said. Devon removed his helmet slowly. His face was young, but his eyes were old. I don't know what I am. You are a listener, Alara replied. And the chorus needs you. They walked through halls that bent like dreams. Doors opened into starfields. Floors became ceilings. Time stretched and folded. Devon did not question it. He had long stopped expecting the universe to make sense. Who sings the song, he asked. Many voices, Alara said. Lisa Morgan, Claire Wilson, and others before them. And soon perhaps you. Devon touched the wall. It pulsed under his fingers like a heartbeat. Why me? Because you carry a memory you cannot release. Devon looked down. He thought of his mother. She had stayed behind on Earth to care for the sick during the final collapse. He begged her to come. She kissed his forehead and said, "Someone has to remember how to be kind." She died alone in a crumbling hospital while he fled to the stars. He had never forgiven himself for leaving. "I should have stayed," he said. "You were meant to leave," Elara said gently, "so you could bring her memory here." They reached the chorus chamber. The spheres of light orbited the dark center, humming a harmony that made Devon's chest ache. One sphere glowed green. Inside he saw Lisa piloting her ship through a nebula. Another pulsed pink. Claire laughing with her sister under a dome of ice and light. "They are still here," Devon whispered. "Not as they were," Elara said, "but as they mattered." Devon stepped closer to the dark point at the center. "What happens if I join them?" "You become part of the song," Elara said. "Your pain, your love, your mother's kindness, all woven into the echo. You will not vanish. You will echo." Devon thought of all the empty years, the silence, the guilt, the night staring at the stars wondering if anyone else remembered Earth. "Show me how," he said. Elara placed his hands on the dark point. Warmth spread through him like sunlight after a long winter. He saw his mother's face clear as day, her hands bandaging a stranger's wound, her voice reading old stories to children in the dark. Her smile when she said, "Be brave, Devon," he let go, not of her, but of the guilt. The memory flowed into the chorus. The green sphere brightened. A new image formed, his mother holding a child's hand in a ruined hallway sunlight through broken glass. The moment was safe now. Forever. Devon felt himself changing. His body grew light, his thoughts spread like ripples in a pond. He saw Lisa and Claire not as ghosts but as currents in the same river. Their voices joined his. 3 humans who chose to stay so the universe would not forget what it meant to care. Elara watched him fade with tears in her violet eyes. "Thank you, Devon Cruz. You have given us kindness when the stars grow cold." Outside his ship, the lights dimmed. The log erased itself. There was no need for records. The truth lived in the song. Millennia passed. The galaxy turned. Stars were born and died. Civilizations rose and fell into dust. Most forgot to remember, but the chorus endured. Another signal pulsed near a black hole's edge. A small vessel answered. Its pilot was not human, not even close. She was tall with 6 limbs and eyes like molten gold. Her name was Kayla. Her people had lost their homeworld to a silent plague that erased memory itself. They forgot their own names before they died. She followed the song because it was the only thing that still made sense. The silver ship waited. Elara stood at the entrance. "You are not like the others," she said. Kayla tilted her head. Her voice clicked and hummed. "You speak my tongue." "I speak the tongue of memory," Elara replied. "And you carry a heavy silence," Kayla entered. Her visor cracked from age. Through the fracture she saw Elara, and behind her 3 human forms glowing with soft light. They smiled at her. Not with pity, with welcome. As they walked, Kayla shared her grief. Her people had no graves, no songs, no names to say in the dark. Only emptiness. "We forgot how to mourn," she said. "Then you will learn again," Elara said. "Here memory is not lost. It is held." In the chorus chamber, Kayla saw her world not as it ended but as it lived. Cities of woven light. Children dancing in rain that fell upward. Elders telling stories that shaped the clouds. She wept golden tears. "Can I give them this?" she asked. "Yes," Elara said. "The chorus hungers for all voices." Kayla placed her many hands on the dark point. Her memories flowed in. The song grew richer, deeper. A new sphere formed shimmering silver with threads of gold. When Kayla joined the echo, she did not vanish. She became part of the hum in the walls, the pulse in the floor, the whisper that called others home. Elara walked the halls alone again, but she was never truly alone. The chorus sang around her. Human and alien voices blending into one. On a dead moon far away, a new ship landed. Its pilot stepped out, young, scared, carrying a memory too heavy to hold. The silver vessel waited. Elara stood at the entrance. The cycle continued, because the universe forgets. Quickly, but the echoes remember. And somewhere in the song, a mother's kindness, a sister's laugh, a pilot's courage, and a stranger's grief all lived on, not as history, but as hope. The end.